So we just got the 5.4 update, and somehow, the 5.5 banners are already almost confirmed. How does that even happen? Well, thanks to leaks and Genshin Impact's rerun patterns, we can already predict with a high level of accuracy who will be on the upcoming banners. In this video, we'll break down everything we know about the expected banners for version 5.5, including the new characters, the reruns, and which banner is going to be the best value for your Primogems. If you're still debating on who to pull for or whether you should start saving now, this video will help you make the right decision. Let's get into it. Starting off with Phase 1 of version 5.5, the first 5-star we have is Varesa. She is an upcoming Electro Catalyst user and one of the most unique characters we've seen in a long time. Her playstyle revolves around plunging attacks, making her a high-skill ceiling character with incredible burst potential. If you enjoy dynamic, fast-paced gameplay, she's definitely going to be a fun character to play. If you want more detailed insights into her full kit, constellations, and best artifacts, make sure to check out my last video where I go over everything in detail. Now, what makes Varesa even better is the fact that she is releasing alongside Xianyun. If you're familiar with Xianyun's playstyle, you already know why this is a huge deal. Xianyun is a 5-star Anemo support whose entire kit is designed around boosting plunging attack damage. When she was first released, many people saw her as a niche character, mainly supporting characters like Xiao. But now, with Varesa's release, Xianyun is finally getting a new overpowered DPS to support. This means that if you are planning to pull for Varesa, it is highly recommended to also go for Xianyun, since she is likely going to be the best support for her. Her buffs increase plunging attack damage by a massive amount, and she also provides healing, making her an essential pick if you want to maximize Varesa's potential. This is one of the strongest character synergies we've seen in a long time, and it makes Phase 1 a very compelling banner if you're into this playstyle. But that's not all. Phase 1 also introduces Xianyun, a brand new Electro 4-star polearm user. There was a lot of speculation about whether she would be a 5-star, but now we know for sure that she is indeed a 4-star. Her kit is looking surprisingly strong, especially as a buffer for Varesa. Many players were expecting her to be more of a DPS, but in reality, she's much closer to Bennett in terms of utility. Her elemental burst summons a kinetic marker that follows the active character and boosts their attack, depending on how much energy she has in her Night Cell's blessing state. This means she continuously buffs her teammates, making her an amazing support for any DPS that relies on attack stats, like Varesa. So if you're planning to pull for Varesa, you'll definitely want Xianyun too. Version 5.5 is also giving us a free 4-star character, Ororon. You can get him completely free just by participating in the main event of the update. If you don't have him yet, this is the perfect time to add him to your roster without spending a single Primogem. Now, let's talk about what makes Ororon an amazing support, especially for electro-charged teams. His passive ability triggers additional off-field damage whenever your teammates deal electro-charged or Night Cell aligned damage, which can also activate the Cinder City effect. This means that if you're running teams with Electro and Hydro synergy, Ororon can provide a consistent damage boost and extra hits, making him a fantastic pick for comps featuring characters like Nuvolette or Furina. But that's not all. His elemental skill also restores energy to teammates when their normal, charged, or plunge attacks hit enemies. This makes him extremely useful in teams that rely on frequent skill usage and high energy bursts. And if you manage to get him to C6, he takes things even further by boosting teammates' ATK, making him a solid choice for electro-charged reaction teams and DPS-focused setups. With free 4-stars like this, there's absolutely no reason not to grab him. Whether you plan to use him immediately or keep him benched for future team comps, Ororon is an excellent free reward that fits into a variety of playstyles. Now moving on to Phase 2, we have another incredibly strong lineup. First, we have Venti. If you've been following the Archon rerun patterns, you already know that this is his turn to come back. Every Archon has been receiving reruns in a predictable cycle, and Venti is the last missing piece in this rotation, making it extremely likely that he will return in version 5.5. Despite being one of the oldest characters in the game, Venti remains one of the best crowd control units in Genshin Impact. His elemental burst creates a massive wind vortex that pulls in enemies and makes it easy to trigger swirl reactions. This makes him invaluable in many types of content, especially when dealing with large groups of smaller enemies. If you don't already have a good crowd control character like Kazuha or Sucrose, Venti is still an amazing pick. For me personally, he is the last Archon that I am missing, so I think I'm going to pull for him. What about you? How many Archons do you have? Let me know in the comments. But the real surprise in Phase 2 is Xilonen. Yes, she just released a few patches ago, but we've seen this happen before with other characters like Nuvolette, so it's not that unusual. And honestly, it makes a lot of sense because Xilonen is one of the most powerful and flexible buffer characters in the game right now. She provides incredible buffs that work with almost every type of team, making her one of the safest long-term investments for your Primogems. Whether you're running a hyper-carry team, or even a team that relies on consistent healing and sustain, Xilonen fits into almost every playstyle. You can even play her as a main DPS if you have higher constellation levels. It is a quite obvious strategic move from Hoyo to let a highly anticipated character like Xilonen not wait too long for a rerun. We already saw the same thing with Nuvolette, so the surprise shouldn't actually be too big. So if you missed her during her initial run, this rerun is a golden opportunity to pick up one of the best support units in Genshin Impact. Now, let's get to the most important question. Who should you pull for? Every character in these banners has value, but depending on your account and what you need, some may be better picks than others. If you're interested in Varesa, then you almost certainly want to pull for Xianyun as well. Their synergy is just too good to pass up, and if you're going to invest in a plunge attack play style, you're going to need Xianyun's buffs to get the most out of it. On the other hand, if you want the safest, most universally strong character, Xilonen is probably the best option. She works in almost every team, her buffs are incredibly powerful, and she doesn't require specific team setups to shine. She's simply a great investment for any player. For those deciding between Venti and Xilonen, it really depends on your needs. If you need strong crowd control and don't already have Kazuha or Sucrose built, Venti is a great choice. However, if you're looking for a character who will improve your account in every game mode and make all your teams better, Xilonen is the superior choice. Overall, 5.5 is shaping up to be an amazing update with some incredibly strong banners. Whether you're planning to pull for the new characters, grab an Archon you missed, or secure one of the best support units in the game, this update has something for everyone. So, what do you think? Are you excited for Varesa and her plunge-focused gameplay? Are you planning to pull for Xianyun? Or are you skipping Phase 1 entirely and waiting for Xilonen and Venti? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want to stay updated on all the latest banner leaks, Primogem saving strategies, and character breakdowns, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a thing. Thanks for watching, and good luck with your pulls!